Good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Discover TV.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. No, not good night. Come back.
Come back. Where are you going, Martin?
What do you mean? We're having trouble streaming to your destination. Is it possible your RTMP server URL stream key are invalid?
Oh, Mixcloud's giving us issues. Maybe I've got the wrong Mixcloud. Let me have a look there and see.
I don't know. Anyway, hello, good evening, everybody. This is New Music Mondays on Discover TV. Hi, how you doing? This is why we do a little bit of background checking on whether we're actually live or not. We should be on YouTube. Are we on YouTube?
My Mixcloud, yeah, we're on YouTube, but my Mixcloud.
We're live. I can see me. I'm on YouTube. Let's see if I look over
giving us
there.
Issues.
There, I can see. There, I can see me. There, I can see me and you, and also there, which is kind of weird. I'll try not to get distracted.
I'm here.
Are you doing the big finger? Ah, the big finger. Ah, the big finger.
Good evening, Martin. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Slightly giddy,
I'm having homemade pasta by my son.
Homemade pasta, which looks very delicious.
Very nice. I won't eat on air. I'll eat during the song.
Spaghetti pomodoro.
I'll eat during the showing of the music video. So how was your weekend, Martin? You guys have got pubs back open. Yay!
The pubs are back open today, and as of early this morning.
Let's drink to that. Let's drink to that. Cheers.
There's a huge glass of gin. No.
Cheers to everybody in the UK.
Did you? Because I know you listen to Radio X regularly.
I watched Chris Moyles this morning. It was the funniest thing ever. They were at a pub in London, sitting drinking Guinness at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like,
in Suffolk.
That is what I like.
That's commitment.
That's commitment. That's Chris Moyles for you. I love you. It was obvious I was going to listen to Radio X this morning, and the question was, how much was him and Pippa drinking during the course of the show? Because by the time they got to the end of the show, it was just a laugh a minute.
I heard that towards the end of the show, he said, "I basically can't remember how many I've had." So
yeah, it was pretty much that. It was such a good show, but yeah, you know how much I love that
show.
So
yeah, that is the world of the UK. Well, not the UK. That's England. I don't know what's going on in Scotland and Wales, but England today. Pubs are open, so hurrah!
Hairdressers are open. Not that you need
hairdressers, gyms. There was people out at the gyms first thing this morning. Yep. Actually, I should say I've got a band arriving in my studio shortly, so you may hear a little bit of background noise in the second half of the show this evening, because they'll be playing some music in the room next door. Because we can do that as well. So.
Mom's online. Hello, Mom.
Hey, Sandy. Hiya. How you doing? Ian McFarlane as well online.
Hello, Ian. Ian's from Durban, if I'm not mistaken. And Ian is a massive 80s fan from what I remember. He was like one of the big fans when we did the 80s Rewind Festival in Durban. Massive fan.
Nothing wrong with that.
I've been watching a lot of that. I don't know if you've ever watched a guy called, I'm blank on his name now, the Rock Professor.
Oh yeah, I know exactly. I know who you mean. Yeah. I know who you mean.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, he does the pork pie hat and the glasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
I know exactly what you mean.
All those classic songs. And he was interviewing. I was watching this morning. The band. The song "I Melt with You." I'm going blank on the band now. Oh man, it's gonna bug me. Anyway, so yeah, and I just love watching that show as well. Every morning, every time I wake up, he's got a new show out. I think he does a show every single day. That guy.
Maybe every day.
He's really prolific.
Once a week. I don't know. I think he's a big Depeche Mode fan as well. I think so. I thought you would like him.
His favorite band in the world is the Smiths.
Is it?
Yes. I know that for a fact.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Anyway, we're about Discover TV and what's happening and what's great in South Africa and the UK right now, which is obviously what the show is all about.
And anywhere else that you happen to be tuning in from as well. You know, that happens to be where we are, but we're interested in where you're from. That's okay.
Yeah, and send us your music. Yeah. Send us your music to Discover TV on Facebook or on Discover TV South Africa or Discover TV London or on our website, discover.tv. There's a link there that you can send music to.
Slide into our DMs, baby.
DM us and send us your brand new music. And we've got some good new music today. I'm excited. Oh, excuse me. That was
a little bit of pasta. Might be repeating on me there.
Hello. Yeah, so should we get into the music? Because that's what this show is all about.
That's what it's all about. It's not a cooking show.
Well, if you'd like a little bit of lasagna.
Well, I tell you what, the way Discover TV is going, and there could be a cooking show coming soon.
We could launch a cooking show, but let's get into it. Here we go. Julian Bach. Good evening, young man.
Oh my God, I'm on.
He's on. Let's put him in the middle. There we go.
I've gone live.
Good evening, Jules.
You got live. You never get much warning on this show. Be prepared. That's the news for the people in the backstage. Just be ready.
We go live. We go live. We just decide. Okay, now it's time. Let's do it now. Let's do it right now. So welcome, Jules, from Stellenbosch in the Cape. I don't even know. It's the Western Cape. Where are we these days? I don't know what it's called. Because they keep changing names of cities and streets in South Africa. Every week, Martin, we get a street name change or we get a city name change. It's like we don't know where we live anymore. It's like kind of like...
The most recent change was Port Elizabeth, which they changed to some unpronounceable, stupid-ass name.
I still can't get it. And also now they're changing William Nicol Drive, which is just by where I live, to Winnie I can never get it. I'm terrible, and I do apologize. Yeah, so we never know where we live, Martin, because our name changes in South Africa all the time. So it's like, today you will live in Johannesburg. Tomorrow you will live somewhere else. So welcome to somewhere else.
Such a new way,
we're just on the tip of Africa. That's all that needs. That's all that matters.
Okay.
We're right on the tip.
The best place in the world, right?
He's got a good name, though, Martin. You see, this is a good thing.
For Julian. Yeah.
And you'll know, because you got...
I mean, it's all right. At the moment, it seems quite common.
Today, yeah, of course.
Today it is. So, Jules, tell us, who is Julian Bach? Because you've been away and then you come back to South Africa, from what I gathered. So you've been doing a little bit of a touring around the world.
I've been doing it the past 6 years. I've actually been doing session work just to get the livelihood going. And I was traveling pretty much. I was working in the Middle East and I was working on the ships for about 6-7 years. And then, but before I left, I released my first solo album, which was I think 2013 somewhere. That's Man on the Bicycle. And I did a little bit of touring with that in 2013 and 14. And I think 2015, I left South Africa. And I thought I was going to leave for good. But then sort of COVID dragged my ass back here. And now I'm back here. I've been back for almost a year. But my most recent album, Heavy Breathing, that one I actually recorded most of it in the Middle East, and even while we were at sea. Because nowadays you can pretty much track anything anywhere. So I tracked a lot of the guitars, a lot of the mixing, or like the minor details to mixing and stuff like that. I did on the ship. Some of it even in the middle of the Atlantic. So and then I released it. Yeah. And so I released it last year when I came back. So that's the story. And
that's a great story in itself, isn't it? I love the background to the recordings of records. I love the background to making records as well. It's not just the not the music, but where did it all come from? That's a great story.
When obviously when I was at sea, I didn't want to wait for me to come back to South Africa, because I came home maybe for like a month at a time, maybe 2 months at a time. And I would come back and I pretty much would just be recording, but I also wanted to do a holiday. So I was like, nah, I'm going to start recording while I'm away, because I have so much time, because I'm only gigging at night anyway. So I pretty much have the whole day for myself. It was either walking around in strange towns all around the Mediterranean or recording. So I did both.
That's
wrong. Walking around strange towns in the middle of the Mediterranean.
In the Mediterranean, writing and recording songs. This doesn't sound like a bad life, really.
No, that's kind of
all right.
It wasn't. It was fantastic. That's why this year was such a wake up call. I had to get my shit together and sort of get back into the South African music industry and rebuild my network. And now for the past 2 months, I've been gigging quite steadily, because I mean we opened up.
We never closed, Jules. We never closed. We never closed. We think we closed. We think we closed for the first month, and that was about it. South Africans don't understand the word lockdown.
No.
I'm afraid to say we don't.
Yeah, there was a point last year, and I was staying in Greenpoint in the city most of last year. And I mean, it was like mid-July, August, somewhere. I went out and nobody gave a shit. Everyone was partying. It was like nothing had changed. You know?
We had a month right in the beginning when we first went into that first lockdown where we were level 5 and people were still going out. But it was like kind of, and now we've been in like this level 3, level 2. Now we're in level 1.057. And with this restriction, that restriction, no parties allowed. You go outside the front door. Every single venue in Johannesburg is like...
So we're not. This is not a party. This is just a normal night.
At least that's good for most musicians, because I mean, most musicians in South Africa was kind of suffering because even though
the
bars
venues
was open, they didn't allow live music. But that's been going for about 2 or 3 months now. So and I'm super happy about that, because I've been getting about maybe 2 gigs a week, working really hard to just keep going. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, no, absolutely. And I think, it's the one that obviously the sad thing is we lost a lot of venues. A lot of venues in Cape Town and Johannesburg shut down during the first part of lockdown and have been unable to recover. So we're trying to do things as best as we can to get the music industry back up and running. I mean, I'm obviously being a bit flippant when I talk about the fact that we're just partying on like there's no corona. Yes, people are dying and things have been pretty hectic. But the one thing I found out, and I mean, the one
that's
thing
not an over-exaggeration about South Africans. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but the thing that is puzzling me is that our numbers keep dropping, even with people going out and drinking and partying and everything like that. We only had like 800 cases yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's low. So I think we're heading for herd immunity. I must be honest. So yeah, I definitely think we're heading for some kind of herd immunity.
Well, apparently we did have the killer strain, and we are tough as nails, so we get over shit quite quickly.
Welcome to Africa. We can handle anything.
We've been dealing with all sorts of weird shit.
Bring it on, Corona. Bring it on.
We had Ebola in Africa, and Africa survived Ebola. So hello, come on, we can survive this. No doubt about it. Okay, let's get back to music. The world. Yeah. I gather this obviously is a tribute to what's happening around the world and everything that's taken place with COVID.
The thing is, it's the video of the song does kind of like play along with that whole theme. But I mean, I wrote the song probably 6 years ago. So the song is actually about, it was like a little bit of a time in my life where I had no idea what I wanted to do. This was like, let's say this was before I left and I became a session musician overseas. I was like in this thing, I had no work, didn't know what to do, kind of like was going broke. And I wrote that song, and it's kind of like it's like being strong and taking whatever the world throws at you and being okay with it. You know, and just like soldier on. That's kind of what the song's about, and to stay positive in that sort of situation. But I mean, like a lot of the lyrics and also now with the video, I did kind of play into a little bit of the Corona vibe, just because
it's there. We are living it every single day.
And the two themes kind of interlinked. So it's like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, let's just like.
You've got a mask.
At least
you've got an album. You've got an album called Heavy Breathing. That seems to be kind of.
Sounds like my life.
Appropriate for these times.
That's got to do with anxiety. That whole album is pretty much, and it also kind of plays with COVID, but it's got nothing to do with it, honestly, because I released it pretty much. It was done like in 2019. It was already done. I only released it last year, but I mean that whole album, even the album before, is it's very I'm quite passionate about mental health and stuff, because I've gone through quite an extreme anxiety disorder when I was quite young. But those two albums are mostly surrounding how to deal with it, or how I dealt with it, and like the feelings I felt when I was sort of in that hole. Thank God I completely got over it, and I'm very thankful for that. And I'm like, I've got nothing left to write about. It's like so fun. but
there's always something to write about. That's the beauty of writing music.
Yeah. So now I'm like putting my feelers out there and thinking about new stuff to write about. But those two albums are pretty much about that. And
Cool. Well, let's take a listen and let's take a look at the video for The World by Julian Bach here on Discover TV, New Music Monday.
Let's all just calm down. We've been worried for no reason at all. Let piece together what we found on the floor. It's the world that brings me to my knees.
Julian Bach, The World on New Music Mondays on Discover TV. Loving it, Jules.
Now I feel like I want the summer right now.
You
Bring
get
me
it,
the
Martin, it's coming.
sunshine. Bring me the sunshine.
It's quite a scenic Cape Town video. My a couple of friends of mine said, "Yeah, it's a good tourist attraction video because it shows Cape Town quite well."
It definitely does. And yourself, if I may say so as well.
Oh,
Now Martin wants to come to Cape Town, you see.
Well, yeah, that's not new, but more so now, definitely, absolutely.
oh, there we go. Okay, stuff.
Jules, thank you so much for
amazing.
joining us. Where can people
It's been a
find out
pleasure.
more information about you? Well, it says
I
there
am
on the
pretty
bottom.
much-
Hello, Julian Bach Music. I just saw that now.
Yeah.
Go, Martin. Martin's ahead of me.
Yeah. But if they do search social media, my go-to search line is Julian Bach Music. So you can just search that on Insta or YouTube or wherever you want, and you'll find it. I'm pretty active. I've got my YouTube channel's got quite a few videos on it, and I post my daily updates on all the socials all the time, and they can see where I'm going to gig and all of that stuff. So it's
Awesome,
you
man.
can
When
check me out.
you're in Joburg, do come visit us at our Discover TV
I will.
studios.
I was actually planning on coming up to Joburg during the winter time because I'm trying to get away from the rain.
Oh, yes. That's the one thing about Cape Town. Cape Town becomes like London in winter, Martin.
Exactly.
rain.
That's why I'm.
Rain and
well,
rain.
Yeah.
That's a
So
very.
you might
that's a-
see
I
me.
mean, see, the good thing is when it's winter in London, it's summer in Cape Town, and vice versa. So the answer is: don't go to Cape Town in winter. Don't come to London in winter.
Well, I had my first winter last year, the first winter in 6 years, and I was freezing my arse off. I had my heater on the whole damn year. I mean, the whole damn
Julian, that's because you've been off gallivanting around the Mediterranean for the last 6 years.
Hello.
Yeah,
There is no winter in the Mediterranean.
I climatized. Yeah, I got used to summer.
You
Yeah.
got to reacclimate. Yeah. Don't feel sorry for you. Don't tell me about it. Oh yeah.
Cool, man. Thank you so much for joining us, Jules. We're going to
Thanks,
get
guys.
moving on. Thank you so
Yes.
much, and good
Have
to
a good
see
night.
you. Cool. You too.
you.
Cheers, mate.
Look forward. I'm going to check that album out definitely.
Let us be your stage. Discover TV.
Wonderful, like that. Do you know that band Train? Are they still going?
It's a good question.
Do you remember
I
them?
don't know. I do remember Train.
Gave me some Train vibes, Julian's stuff there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got that. I can get that. Yeah.
Cool.
Kind of hear it. Kind of mixed with the kind of a bit of New Radicals kind of vibe.
Good shout. Yeah, absolutely. What was his
I
name?
like it. I like it. The
Greg
guy from
Alex-
New Radicals.
Greg Alexander.
That's it.
Greg Alexander.
That's it. I saw they actually they reformed for some show earlier this year. I can't remember what it was, and they actually redid. Oh, it was for that big online thing that they did to raise awareness. I think about COVID. And he redid it. Probably about COVID. What else could it be
I
about?
was going to say they did a big thing to raise awareness for something. I can't remember. It was not hugely successful. Though.
No, it didn't really impact me. Lady Gaga put it together. I don't know if you remember. It was
I
like a
remember
whole,
it was very early. It must be about a year ago. It was very early on in the whole sort of process thing.
Yeah, and the New Radicals came back together to perform. You only get what you give.
He wrote some really great tracks for other people as well. I know Ronan Keating had a great track.
That's actually where he's more famous for, is for his songwriting than he is for his actual album. One album, that was pretty much it. That was it. Let's get on with the music, because I know that we've still got Helen coming up at 5:30, so we need to kind of move it along, and let's get some rock and roll into our bones.
rock
eh?
and roll.
Let's get some rock and roll in our bones. Everett Sneyman, good evening, young man.
Good evening.
You muted. You need to unmute yourself.
Hello, can
Oh,
you
there
hear
go.
me? How you
Oh, I
doing,
got
guys?
you now.
Now we can.
How are you doing, Everett? Now, you're recognizable to me. Why? What you've been on Balcony TV, and I'm trying to remember the band because I always said you sounded like Queens of the Stone Age, didn't I? What was the band?
I used to be in a band called Black Pimpin' Jesus.
Yes, thank you. I knew it, Martin. I need to play you Black Pimpin' Jesus. I love this band. And
I already love the name.
No, you have no idea. And I remember shooting them at Randlords, and I was like, dude, this is freaking incredible. Where have you been hiding? It's been a while.
I've been busy with a lot of shit, man. Black Pimpin' Jesus, I think we that thing ran its course very quickly because we got banned from most places because we were a bit crazy.
From everywhere.
After that, I did a band called Pollinator. I'm still off and on Pollinator. I've done another band called Bomb Baby that we just did for fun. I'm in Rap Magic now as well. So I'm playing with Rap Magic. Been recording
you playing with Rap
that.
Magic as well?
Yeah.
And you guys are coming to play at Hell's Kitchen next month, 16th of May. Oh, now I'm getting excited. We had Rough Magic on, remember, Martin?
I do.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I love Johnny is
You're burning up the charts. Just been number 1 on Mix FM.
I was not even aware of this. I just got Warren just phoned me and he was just like, listen, you got to talk to all these people. And I've talked on the air and I'm mixing every day, in and out, every 12 hours a day. I'm like working with sound. So I don't really pick up my phone a lot. So when I hear guys like the guy's like, oh yeah, you're number 1, you're number 3 or something. It's like, well, I was not even aware, but that's great.
And then all of a sudden you were number 1.
Nice.
Yeah, well, that was great as well. Yeah, I mean, it feels nice, but I mean, I just like to make music and stuff. So I'm a firm believer that if you expect anything, expect too much. You just got to do it because you like doing it.
Yeah.
But it is great when people like it. It's great.
I'm going to find that Black Jesus, and I'm going to try and see if I can find it before we finish the show tonight.
It's all on band. A lot of it's on Bandcamp.
No, but all the videos got unlisted by Balcony TV. We've actually been having this discussion offline.
What happened? I don't even know what happened.
So Balcony TV was bought out by the Orchard and Sony Music, and then they kind of just progressively shut everything down and unlisted all the videos. And somebody actually a guy posted who was on Balcony TV saying, I'm pissed off. My videos have been unlisted and I want them back because you want your views and everything like that. Why they unlisted it?
It's not even just the views. You just want the sort of the proof, don't you? I did a show. I was online.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I shot 476 shows. I don't want those all just to disappear. 476 Balcony TVs I shot, man. Yeah, and then all of a sudden they've all disappeared. I'm like, no, that's not fair. That's not fair on the artists either. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic for discussion about rights and everything like that when it comes to that. But I've just started on our DiscovrTV YouTube channel because I got sent a list of all the unlisted videos. I've now started actually adding them to a playlist on our DiscovrTV channel of all the old Balcony TV videos. So I'm progressively going from day 1. And I'm just going over the next couple of weeks. Every day I add about 10 or 15 videos to this playlist. And by the end of it, I'll have all the videos. And Martin, we must get all London's as well and everybody's. And just add them to this playlist. Why not?
Well, that's pretty cool. I'd actually dig this. I don't think I've seen it in a couple of years. I think I had short hair then.
You did.
Short hair and no beard.
It was rock and roll. It was rock and roll, man.
I look like an accountant.
Let's chat about Everett Snyman. Because obviously, when I first heard you, I was like going, I know this guy. And I was like getting, damn it, where from now? You know how you get that kind of like, where do I know this from? And then literally, as you came on tonight, I was like, I know. It was tonight it hit me. It was tonight that it hit me.
Coming back to me.
Yeah. And I was a big fan of Black Pimpin' Jesus in a big, big way. So, I mean, it was like, I'll find that video. I definitely will, Martin, and you'll like it. I know you will.
Okay.
Definitely will. Okay. But anyway, so let's chat. Everett Snyman. Brand new video is out. And it's rock and roll in its finest. Dumb and Dead. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, that's
album, Hot Mess.
Hot Mess. I started recording Hot Mess I think 2 weeks after the lockdown started. Then I was actually in heaven if you think about it. Because I had a whole studio. I had my studio where I live. So that's just what I did for about 3 months. Then I left it for about 3 months, and I mixed it for 3 months. And then I think Warren and them, Mongol, chatted with me. Then I said, well, cool, let's put it on there. I did that, and this Dumb and Dead one was one of the ones on the album. But when we said they were going to put on the Fang compilation, we thought, well, I've got another version of it because I had recently upgraded my studio, so I had more channels. So I thought, let's do a live track. We were literally just checking out because we were going to play a show, and then all the restrictions came again. And we're like, well, we reversed. and like 4 of us can make it. The other guys, well, we're not going to come anymore because, you know, we don't have to. There's no show. And then the guys who did come, we were like, or that's just kind of how it worked out. We thought we were going to record something new or whatever, and then we just bug it around. And then for some reason got that. We got a version of Planet of Sound as well that day, like a Pixies cover. I know, I like recording a lot. I'm very one-minded. I'm just like, cool. When I die in 100 years at least, that will be there because no one will remember anything else.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. Let's remember the music because it is what we always remember. I mean, we were just chatting about a show previously called The Professor of Rock on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever checked it out. Go and check it out if you do. He's like this American kid he's not that young, I suppose, but he interviews iconic rock stars. Not that young, no. But I mean, he's just got an incredible brain when it comes to music. And you just get caught up in him talking about songs, and he like goes into like the making of the songs and everything like that. Really good channel to check it out. I don't know why I'm promoting him so much tonight, but I really enjoy the show. I should be promoting DiscovrTV and the artists that we have on DiscovrTV. But you know, it's kind of going back to what you're saying. All we have is the music at the end.
There's
of the day.
Room for everyone, Julian. There's room for everyone.
I mean, I can go on and on about engineering techniques now to record because I've been doing it for 20 odd years. But in the end of the day, like the simpler thing to explain what I like to do is that I like to make songs and I like to write about the human condition. That is it. That's all you really need.
Well, on that note, let's take a listen because I think we deserve to take a listen. This is pure, fine rock and roll. Did I do this right? Hang on, I've got to do this quickly because I know I've done a mistake here. I've been on a lot of painkillers tonight, and I want to make sure.
Also, I wanted to say something. On the upload, it just says Stian de Pre, but also Christian van Reenen plays guitar and Timothy Edwards plays drums. So it's all 4 of us on that one.
Nice.
Brilliant. Let's check it out. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's Sladen. Oh wait, it's got to go to. You see, I'm having one of those days.
Be the motherfucking take.
Here we go.
You guys ready?
Wow, Ever Sladen. Wow. Okay, I think that kind of says it all, doesn't it?
I was loving that.
I like to scream. Let's just say that.
Yeah, no, that's rock and roll at its finest. I'm trying to find that Black Pimpin' Jesus, and I will find it by the end of the show.
The best thing of that whole thing that we did that in I think that was about the 5th take, and I didn't have to edit anything. I didn't have to fix anything. Everything was just done in one take, and it was like, okay, awesome. And then we forgot about it until.
And yeah, just it's great. It's a great thing as well to kind of say, like, just stick some cameras up. I mean, like kind of fancy videos. I mean, I know that's taken some putting together in terms of editing, just to kind of switch between the cameras. But it's just like, okay, we're in a room, just stick some cameras up.
Also,
there you go.
Also think
Video.
you get a better sound when you play with a lot of people, where you get different people playing together than when it's one person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got a bit more character.
Yeah. You get pushed a little bit, don't you? You get a little bit of pushback. I think this is great. I don't think it is. I think we can do better. Shit. Okay.
I'm trying to find the Black Pimpin' Jesus, and I'm going to find it. I will find it by the end of the show. I'm determined.
Okay. Whilst you're doing that, let's have a chat about Billy Joel. Apparently.
Oh, I love Billy Joel. Billy Joel is the best songwriter who's ever lived.
Okay.
I don't know if I can swear because there's something I can say about Billy Joel.
You can, yeah, I'm sure you
say
can.
whatever.
Well, I mean,
Joel.
you can swear. I'm not sure if you can kind of. It depends if you're going to insult him or not, I suppose. But
No. Billy Joel will fuck everyone to death. He can fuck anyone to death. He is the best.
Okay, and he knows it.
Take my word for it. Just go watch some interviews with him. He is the shit. His songwriting is unparalleled. Doesn't matter what he does, whether it's cheesy or not. It's always fucking perfect.
So when did this start ever? When did the Billy Joel love start?
Well, I've been listening to Billy Joel since I was like a little kid. My sister loved like Uptown Girl and forced my parents to buy like the greatest hits or something. So I've been listening to it on and off my entire life. Then a weird thing happened. I had to do a job where I had to use like Billy Joel bridges. I had to get like instrumental bridge parts, right?
Uh-huh.
Then I started listening to stuff and was like, fuck, I know all of this. I know all of this stuff. And then I started listening to it and I was like, God, this is great. Then it just consumed my life. I can't explain to you how much it just consumed my life completely. I mean, then, and it was in lockdown as well, so it was great. I borrowed my buddy's digital piano, so I literally just, all the days I wasn't recording, those 3 months or whatever when I didn't have the mix, I just sat with the piano and just did that the whole day. I was like, I want to be like Billy Joel. I want to learn to play piano. It's just so much more. You know what it is? It gives it a much. When you've got a piano, I think it's not like a guitar. It was like, oh, cool, I got a heavy riff. Oh, it's fucking heavy or whatever.
Yeah.
When you have a piano, or even if you just have an acoustic guitar, just like the plain melody, then you have to have it. It has to stand. It has to be a song.
Yep. Very true.
You know what I mean? I think that's why I love him. And also, then honestly, his lyrics are great. Man, he wrote the soundtrack to everyone's life. Listen to any Billy Joel song, you will relate to it. I can assure you.
Oh yeah, I mean, is it The Stranger, that album? It's got.
I love that's like my
Stranger as
favorite album.
Man,
I love it.
I've got that on vinyl still, and it is such a great album. There's no doubt about it. I got to see him with my mom when he was in South Africa, and he's a great songwriter.
2006, I think that was.
Somewhere around there, yeah. But anyway, Everett, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the 16th of May. I think, what month are we in now? April.
It's April now.
Yes, 16th.
I don't even know. Like, it's very hard to tell. Time doesn't really exist anymore. Eh?
No.
In the UK, it's now become known as Haircut Day.
There we go. Like
everybody's getting a haircut today.
Yeah,
I've been skipping it.
I mean, I have the opposite problem. But yeah, 12th of April, henceforth, is Haircut Day in the UK because everyone's been waiting for a year to get a haircut, and now they can.
Yeah.
And I might, with the Hells one, I might be doing some acoustic stuff beforehand. So maybe we'll see what happens.
Can we get the band on for another show then? The full Everett Snyman band.
Hey, well,
Let's chat.
Call me.
I'll call you. I'll holler.
I love playing and making way too much content, so let's go for it.
I think you have to come. We've just finished building our new studio here in Fourways, which we kind of going to be doing our own version of Tiny Desk called Discover Now, where we're going to be showcasing South African artists. We're going to be doing it in the UK as well and around the world. But yeah, I'd love to have you in the studio, come and perform a couple of tracks here as part of our own version of Tiny Desk.
You can handle 3 guitars and like 2 synthesizers and a piano and an organ and drum set, all that jazz.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. It won't be, by the end, it won't be that tiny. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but we'll make it. We'll make it feel. We'll make it feel real.
Make it feel real.
Everett, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, guys. It was wonderful
Cool,
chatting
man.
with
We'll
you
be
guys.
chatting soon. Thanks a lot, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Man. Bye.
Henny, I did think of you when I played that track. And Henny's like, that's a track. And I actually thought of Henny when I played that. I thought, Henny is going to like this. I have no doubt about the fact that Henny's going to like that track. It's a cracker. And if you go and listen to anything of Everett, and I'm just going to quickly pop this in here because we are going to, Martin. I found it. I absolutely found it. And just to give you a little taste of what I found, let's just do this. And I'm going to go share. There we go. Where's it there? Black Pimpin' Jesus. Check this out. This is a long time ago. As you can see, June 20th, 2013. And there is Everett with short hair.
8 years ago. My
Wow.
goodness me.
I love it. Wow. Okay, so we're going
Julian.
to play out with that later.
I can see your legs.
I have legs, Martin. It's not just this part up. It's not just this. I have legs. I am human. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, guys, go and check out Everett.
Do you remember that when he was outdoors and he had a full body? It's amazing.
Yeah. It's a while ago. But yeah, loving it. So yeah, go and check out Everett. And yeah, if you're in Johannesburg on the 16th of May, you want to come and watch Rough Magic, Everett will be opening by the sounds of it, doing a couple of tracks, and we'll be getting them into the studio here at the DiscovrTV studios as well in Johannesburg for our new show, Discover Now, coming to you live from across the world.
Literally just made up 2 hours ago.
Less, an hour ago. An hour ago. Should we get our next guest on? Shape's being very,
Yes,
very patient, and I am 9 minutes late. And I like to be punctual, but here we go.
Hi.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Oh, you're in the middle. Look, see? Helen said, if I'm in landscape, will it be all right if I'm in the middle? You're in the middle. Like that.
In the middle.
The thing is, it's mirrored, so it's really confusing. It's like I have to go that way. It's like cutting your hair in the mirror.
I know, it's weird. I can't point the right because I'll go like, there's Helen. No, wrong way.
No, wrong way.
Exactly.
There's Helen.
Hi.
We'll get it right.
Eventually. Oh dear. Good evening. How are you? Seems like ages since I saw you.
I'm
hey,
fine.
Julian. Helen's
I've
one
had
of
a
those people
panic.
I've actually seen in real life in the last week. In real life, in actual person-to-person contact.
Don't tell everyone.
Oh, sorry. Was I not supposed to say? Okay.
No, but you were allowed to be in groups of like, what, 6 or less? Something like that?
Something like that. Anyway,
We're allowed to be in groups of 500
it was very,
or less.
It was very lovely. I'll just say cake was involved.
Oh, nice. Cake, a
I should have sent
non-alcoholic
you home
beer.
with that cake. I felt really bad afterwards. Unfortunately, I've eaten it all myself.
Oh, well, yeah, I think you deserved it. Helen, hello, Heliphonics. I mean, we could have you on for a multitude of reasons, but tonight you're here as Heliphonics. Hello.
That's right.
Hello.
Hello.
And we may discuss some of the other things that we could have got you on from. But Heliphonics is a fantastic thing, really, because it's one of those things, like Discover TV Music Mondays, was largely born out of lockdown, right?
Absolutely. I've been promoting other artists for the last 10 years and been associated with Martin since before then, pretty much. And I'd never, ever thought I would make my own music. I was very happy promoting the other artists and loved it. I always felt I wasn't creative. I thought I was musical because I thought it was musical because I was like effectively executive producing everything that the label released, and doing all the A&R and everything, apart from the production, which my daughter did. So starting to make my own music, nothing short of a miracle, really.
But I mean, was it literally? Sometimes. Your background is PR, so there may be a mild amount of spin in this. But knowing you as well, probably not. It probably is literally you got handed a laptop with GarageBand on it and went, "All right, I'll have a go."
Well, what it was is the guy I married 3 years ago, who's an accountant. I thought he had a lovely voice, and I still think he's got a lovely voice. And he was doing covers.
Is he listening by any chance? Is he like, what do you mean? I've still got a lovely voice. What do you think?
Yeah, he just turned around, actually. So I thought, how hard can it be to write some songs for him. Well, it turns out it's very hard. And to start the process off, I said, because I tried on the keyboard down in the den when my daughter used to record, and it's just hopeless. Just couldn't get a melody or anything. So then I said, you've got GarageBand. I've read interviews where bands have used GarageBand to start off their tracks. I thought, have you got it on your iPad? And so I said, how do you turn the iPad on? How do you get GarageBand on it? And he showed me. He hadn't really played with it around with it himself either. It was literally, what does this button do? And I was quite surprised at what you can do with an Apple iPad and GarageBand.
Absolutely.
And I made myself a little challenge to try and create a new track each day because I had quite a lot of time on my hands. And my daughter, I was really impressed at what I was doing. And my daughter came around and she said, yeah, it's a great demo. I'm like,
what does that
mean?
Damned with faint praise. We should say, though, Charlie, your daughter, at the time was working with Gary Barlow, so the bar was quite high.
Well, but you don't really think that because it's your daughter, do you? You're just thinking, she'd be honest with me, and it's basically shit. It's absolutely shit. And her advice was, carry on doing this and come back to this track when you've learned more. But how am I going to learn more? Well, just keep on. Don't release this. It was quite insistent. And then that was like June. And then by July, I thought, this is absolutely hopeless. I can't do this at all. They're like, what's Apple Loops? What does that button do? Yeah. And I was like, oh my God.
The whole world opened.
The whole world opened up. And I could create using someone else's ideas and mash them all together and make a cake that was then a track. And when her reaction on hearing the first one was claps, I was like, this is maybe where I've really put my energy. So poor Joe, my husband, has not had any songs written for him. Well, nothing, nothing much really. So that's how it happened.
Which is, starting there, and I think I just want to kind of pick up that little bit of great advice. Actually, is kind of when you start something, don't get stuck on the thing that you've started. Keep moving. Yeah. I think we were listening to Johnny Marr on a Q&A last week as well, kind of saying similar things. Just write more. That's how you get better. And I think some artists
wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think some artists can get stuck on trying to perfect one thing rather than just go, just do some more, and like as said, and then come back to it when you've got a bit more ideas. That's really cool. But equally, I want to say as well, like you said, writing new stuff every day. How this is less than a year ago, but there are 2 EPs out already. Is that correct, or is the second one just about to come out?
No, I'm about to release
there's 2 out already, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm about to release the third, and I've got 10 tracks from an album that I'm finishing off, and another couple of birdie tracks it seems to be I'm quite prolific.
Well, I've known you for a little while, and I think yes, you kind of are. So yeah.
But it does happen, and I think I've been doing the same in this period as well, because I have a couple of other different bands, and I'm also in a cover band called Depressed Mode. You can gather what we do. I think the name kind of gives it away, and also doing original stuff as well as the band with a friend of mine, Mark. But in the last couple of months, I've started writing on my own again, and also going this whole loop-based kind of scenario. And there's a great app called Arcade, which is released by a company called Output.
Arcade by Output. Now, my daughter said
it's changed
I have to get it.
It's changed my life.
Oh, because I'm
it's 10 quid a month. 10 quid a month.
Have you got Logic then?
Yeah, running on Logic.
Yeah, so she wants me to upgrade to Logic. And
you must.
It's like a big step. Because
you're
in the safety of GarageBand at the moment, still.
No, you'll get it.
You don't have to go there.
When you discover Arcade, it's going to change your life.
I know, honestly, I know.
I honestly will.
But what I've got to do, I've got to finish off my album using the method I started it with, I think. So then I can close the door and then start with a whole new thing. With
just be prepared to have your mind blown, because
I know I am.
No, I'm going to step in there and say, no, Julian, you prepare to have your mind blown. When Helen gets her hands on Logic, God knows where it's going to go.
But that's good. And exactly.
It won't be Helen's mind being blown. It'll be everybody else's. That's what's going to happen.
It blows your own mind because you start discovering things that you can do, and you mix sounds and you mix things, and it's like, so I've created this whole new persona for myself, more in the dark, Portishead meets left field, that kind of lo-fi dance kind of vibe. And the first track I did under this new persona was 18 minutes long, and I'm like, that's a bit long, Jules. And I'm like, you know what? So what? I'm happy. I'm just going to release it. Hop onto Lander, because obviously then you go into Lander for mastering, because Lander's brilliant when it comes to mastering, and Lander offers you the potential also to distribute for that track. So I'm like, okay, cool, master it, distribute it, there you go, done. I'm like, yay. But for people like me, Martin, you don't want to sit and master 18 minutes of me.
Get a person to master it for you.
No, it's Lander's for that kind of stuff. Lander's easy.
Get a human to master it for you. Anyway, that's a side issue. That's a thing. That's just a thing that I'm on. But yeah, so I just wanted to say these like might sound like, okay, so I'm just doing some stuff, but these have been very well received.
It amazes me.
Award-winning, right? How did that come about?
Yeah. Well, I just entered. You have to enter.
Of course.
Pay someone a lot of money. I think you have to go where you're most likely to get an award to start with. And I worked out that this magazine, Clouzine, really favour independent artists, and a lot of their artists that they support are older than you would expect. Yeah. Obviously, I fit into that category, and I think
me too. Can I also go there, please?
Yeah.
Julian, you're getting old now. You can't still be making music.
Yeah, you can.
Exactly. So when I started at 54, so it just shows anything's possible, doesn't it? Yeah. But I'm doing found sounds, even though I'm using GarageBand. So I'm recording things. So this track, you're premiering the video for. Song Thrush Serenade. It's very hard to say that fast, by the way. I didn't know you had a go.
Song Thrush Serenade.
It is, isn't it? Quite a tongue twister. It was the bird in my garden that woke me up for months during lockdown, and it was the only thing making a noise, and it was just such a racket. And in the end, I began to quite like it, and I've recorded it lots of times. The thing about found sound, especially outside, is the wind. If there's any wind, it's useless. It's background noises. It's anything else going on. If there's too many birds, you can't isolate one. It took a lot of hours of recording and sifting through. So it's been quite a labour of love. But yeah, this one's been received extremely well as well. It's great. Brilliant. Great fun.
Fantastic. Should we take a listen?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Here we go. I'm not going to say the name because I'm going to try and say it fast. Sonic Thrush Serenade. Sonic Thrush Serenade. Here we go.
Okay, let's play the track.
Song, thrush, serenade.
How about that? How about that? Amazing.
Psychedelic.
Who made the video, Helen?
Can you tell?
Well, yeah, so why get anyone else to do something when you can do it yourself? That's
It was
kind of thing.
deliberately naive, pixelated, very of the NFT mode. You know, my son and my daughter are both into making art with NFTs, and I've been inspired by their work.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. So, I mean, we very briefly touched on this last week. Like, not missing out on a trick at all. Like I said, NFTs, which people will have heard being mentioned around, is going to be, yeah, I'm on that. I'm on it. I know what's going on. It's fine.
It's, you know, garish colours in your face, obviousness. I hopefully people smiled as they saw it, because I brought the bird hopping in, just to have a bit of laugh with it, really.
Yeah.
So
That's tremendous.
My question is that a first of its kind of a bird actually being the vocalist in a track? I mean, because that's essentially what it is. You've turned the bird into.
Oh, it is. And on lead and backing vocals.
Yeah. So is that the first of its
with
kind?
no human involvement.
No.
Very, very interesting point.
I don't know. All the way through, yeah. I mean, sometimes they use birds to augment
but
track.
I mean, that's
I know there's an
bird
artist called
the
Sam
bird,
Lee.
which I think is.
I
it's
mean,
amazing
yeah,
if you
I've got
think
one
about
for
it.
Robin as well coming up, and they're quite unique.
Bird sounds definitely being used and stuff, but I don't think as
But
so
not
much
as
kind
a,
of
as a lead
like
vocal,
that. No.
as a lead vocal in
So
a
the thing,
track.
it's got that. There's that. Was it 808 State track? Kind
Yes.
of a little bit of that sort of vibe around it. Had those kind of. But those have been synthesized anyway. Probably they were probably.
Those, yeah,
even
these are real birds. This is a real bird.
I mean,
This
they're
is
real birds, and I didn't change the timing. I made the track, had the 96 BPM to fit in with the bird's natural meter. And I also had to make it the right key so that I didn't have to tune the bird as well. So it's, as it happens, it sings in C major, which is very handy, actually. But it's like, having said, the
who
Robin
knew that?
wasn't,
Now you know that.
but the Robin wasn't that obliging. The Robin's actually B flat major. But anyway, you know, it's a lot more complicated than it might appear.
So it turns out.
Well, I think that has to be
wonderful.
a first. I mean, I don't know of anybody who's ever done anything like that before, and I think it's brilliant. I absolutely do. I love the vibe of it. It's got a very 90s kind of, the old, like, kind of, you remember, like, Soul to Soul, those kind of nice groove to it and that kind of vibe. So I love it. I mean, because that's kind of the era that I grew up in as well. Plus the 80s, obviously. We know lots of 80s. But yeah, I love it. I think and just having that vibe, and I mean, even like you can pick out where the chorus is. You know, you get the vibe.
It's got a structure. I mean, it is
it's got a
verse,
structure.
pre-chorus, chorus.
Yeah,
Verse, pre-chorus,
and I can hear
middle
it.
eight.
And it's like I'm sitting there like going, "Now I wish I knew what the bird was saying. God damn it! I want to know what the bird's saying. Somebody tell me what the bird's saying. Where's the lyric video?"
Yeah, I know. I thought about that. No, I can't do a lyric video.
So this is track one of which is out. This is out now, right?
Yeah.
Or is it just? Yeah, it's out now.
On Spotify and all the rest of it. Yeah.
And there's an EP coming up soon as well. Is that right?
Yeah, there's an artist, a guy, I'll be quick, called Ian McMillan, who does Radio 3 program called The Verb. And I approached him and asked him if he could provide some prose and speak over a track for me. And he said, yeah, for that. I've just got his recording today. It's really exciting. So, yeah, and various birds, blackbird, robin. So, yeah, I think it'll be an EP of that next.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. Love it. And this is just a little part of what you do as well. For anyone who's listening to the show a couple of weeks ago when we had an artist called Joelle on, there's Helen who was in the background of that with the PR to put us in touch there. And you may have heard us talking about the possibility of doing business-oriented show, talking about the stuff in the business. Helen will be releasing blog coming up. It's quite the first part coming out quite soon.
Well, I think you'd probably be premiering it.
Well, there you go then. Fantastic.
There we go.
So towards the end of the month, we'll have that new show starting where we'll be starting to talk about basically.
What did we call it again? I've forgotten
we decided
now.
we were going to call it.
Oh, man, Helen, you
You
came up
have
with
to
the
watch
name,
the
didn't
video.
you?
I'm
gonna have to go watch the video
go back
again.
and find it out again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Helen
Hitmakers. I think we
actually
kind of went Hitmakers.
Yeah, that was the one.
Was it
That was
Hitmakers?
it.
Yeah, Discover Hitmakers.
Yeah.
There we go. Discover Hitmakers. There we go.
So
We'll be coming
there.
up with that before the end of the month.
So
Got lots of new shows coming. Yay, we're so excited.
Yay. Fingers in many pies, Helen. But doing wonderfully well and all. In fact, I don't know if I can I make that camera move? There you go. Look at that. There's a little bit of Helen's artwork in my studio as well. Just gonna go like, as she says, I'm not. As she goes, I'm not really very creative. I'm like, there's fucking artwork on the wall over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Helen, thank you so much for joining us, and we can't wait to have you back on the show. And we
Great.
can't
Thanks
wait to
very
have
much,
you
guys.
on Hitmakers as well. We'll chat to you soon.
Take care, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Dum dum, dum dum. What's going on in the background there, Martin?
I told you I got abandoned.
Who's
Let's
the
hear
band? I know you got abandoned, so I'm
Just
asking you.
There you go. There you go. Actual people in. They have to because now that we're open up in the UK, people are actually putting on gigs. So they've got a gig, so they need to rehearse.
Oh, there you go.
So
you have it.
they are called OMJ. They're called that
Not
band.
OMD.
They do cover versions. They're called OMJ. Stands for Old Men Jamming.
Old Man. I thought it was Oh My Jeepers.
But they will they will be playing around locally in the upcoming months. Hopefully, lots. I guess they'll be wanting to do so. Yeah. So they're just using my room to get themselves gig ready,
Awesome.
basically.
So is King's Parade date still on, or has it changed?
As far as I'm
Still
aware,
looking
it's all happening. Yeah, because we're post. I mean, we seem to be doing okay over here. Fingers crossed that we're on track. Figures are dropping and everyone seems to be reasonably happy. So we opened up today. The next date, I think, is the middle May, 17th of May, I think it is, when there's another step up. And then 21st of June, effectively released from lockdown is the plan at the moment. So they're 15th of July. So I guess they'll be fairly confident that things are okay. All being well, we should be good.
Yes. I'm still trying to make a plan. I want to come over.
Well, it's the
Come and
travel.
visit.
The travel's still restricted, though, isn't it? That's the thing. I mean,
Yes.
even though we've kind of locked up, we're not we're not locked in our houses, but we're not allowed to leave the country. We're still to a degree.
And apparently, the South African rugby teams that are supposed to be taking part in some UK competition have all been restricted. They're not allowed to come.
Is that right?
So the UK government's denied their visas.
I think there's some. I mean, you'll know this as well. Some Champions League games are still happening in neutral grounds because of travel restrictions. So
Is ours in a neutral ground? I don't actually know.
There's a lot that's still happening. Last round, wasn't it?
No, that was
round.
at Real Madrid. Yeah, the last round was, but our game against Real Madrid was in Real Madrid. I don't know where.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's at Anfield, actually. To be perfectly honest,
I don't know.
I
I think if you played at Bernabeu, surely you'd be playing at Anfield for the return leg.
Who knows?
I think so. Anyway,
Don't know. We'll find out tomorrow or Wednesday.
Aye.
We've got a clue. All right,
Aye.
we're going to play out with a balcony TV.
a blast from the past.
A blast from the past, and we are going way back when. And you saw Everett Snyman tonight on the show, and this is Everett 8 years ago. So I'm going to let this play out. You'll see a short interview by me. This is a long time ago. I had legs. I looked younger. Yeah, this is it. This is Black Pimping Jesus with Can't Pretend on Balcony TV. And guys, as I said earlier, I am making a playlist on our YouTube channel of all the classic Balcony TV shows because they were all unlisted and artists cannot find their performances. So I'm hoping this will be able to help them trying something.
And I guess
to
if
back.
anyone does have a note of a video or still linked to a playlist or something like that and has a note of the listing, let us know and we'll add it to the list.
Yes. Thanks to Christoph for actually sharing this list with us. So we've been able to get that from Christoph at Discover TV Zurich. So here it is, Black Pimpin' Jesus. We'll see you next week. We're out of here.
Bye bye.
Come on. Can't remember that. Hey guys, welcome back to Balcony TV Johannesburg. I'm your host, Julian. We're hanging out at Randlords on a beautiful winter's day and hanging with Black Pimping Jesus. How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well for a Saturday morning.
Are you the Black, the Pimping, or the Jesus?
That's just a clever name, I guess.
I love it. I absolutely love it. What song are you guys going to play for us?
We're going to play Can't Pretend.
Take it away.